World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day. This is World News in 5 here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. At least 34 attack drones struck Moscow, the largest drone assault instigated by Kyiv since the start of the Russia-Ukraine war in 2022, injuring at least a person and forcing around 36 flights from the capital's 3 major airports to be diverted. Russia's defense ministry said an attempt by the Kyiv regime to carry out a terrorist attack using an airplane-type drones on the territory of the Russian Federation was thwarted. The defense ministry added that 36 other drones were intercepted in western Russia. Rosaviatsia, Russia's Federal Air Transport Agency, said the city's airports of Domodedovo, Sheremetyevo, and Zhukovsky resumed operations several hours after the attack. The Russia-Ukraine war is seen to be in its final stages as United States President-elect Donald Trump, during his campaign, said he could bring peace in Ukraine within 24 hours. Trump, who was elected 47th President of the United States, will assume office in January next year. Search and rescue team retrieved a total of 12 bodies following landslides that buried a road west of the Central African country of Cameroon, with dozens still missing. According to Cameroon Radio Television, OS Governor Augustin Awa Fonka said there is no longer any possibility of finding survivors. In an earlier statement, the governor said a landslide occurred at around 10 in the morning of Tuesday in Chang Cliff Road, and about 2:30 in the afternoon the same day, 4 bodies were pulled out of the rubble, but another landslide happened, burying several vehicles and machines. Governor Awafonka said search for bodies continue while emergency workers clear the road. According to the World Health Organization, roads in Cameroon are extremely dangerous, claiming almost 3,000 victims each year. Just last September, a tractor-trailer dived into a ravine near the town of Chang, claiming 8 lives and injuring 62 others. And news from the Philippines Foreign Service posts, the Philippine Embassy in Washington, D.C. urged Filipinos staying illegally in the United States to leave voluntarily ahead of the incoming Trump administration's expected crackdown on illegal immigrants. Philippine Ambassador to the U.S., Jose Manuel Romualdez, said 250,000 to 300,000 Filipinos are at risk of being blacklisted or deported should President-elect Donald Trump proceed with his promise of mass deportation for undocumented immigrants. In a virtual briefing of the Foreign Correspondents Association of the Philippines, or FOCAP, Romualdez advised them not to wait to be deported because he can see that the administration of President Trump is really going to be very strict with the immigration policy that he intends to put in place. Romualdez warned that a foreign national, once deported, can never return to the U.S. Still, the envoy said the number is relatively lower than other nationalities. He noted that the U.S. continues to regard Filipino healthcare workers as essential to its workforce, saying many health service companies are asking the embassy for ways to increase the number of deployed Filipino nurses. Romualdez said in Guam, there is also a great demand for construction workers from the Philippines. Immigration was at the core of Trump's presidential campaign, promising the reinstatement of border restrictions and the biggest deportation of undocumented migrants in U.S. history. Trump made a historic comeback to the White House after defeating Democrat presidential candidate Kamala Harris in a tight election on November 5th. And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day.
World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.